OMG, I'm going to suggest a trust is not always the best option. Yes, you heard that right. I'm 𝗲𝗲𝗱 Law, an estate planning attorney in New York and New Jersey, and we provide peace of mind to families through our high client value services. If you are seeking assistance in estate planning or probate administration, you can reach out to us for free consultation at yourplanningattorney.com. We'd be happy to help. And of course, we're always here educating everyone as well. So please ask questions and share so together we can help some folks along the way. Now, I know it's crazy. I'm an estate planning attorney saying a trust isn't always the right fit. But let's talk about when it may not be the right tool. It's not necessarily very common, but here are a few things, tidbits I'd like to add. First off, if it's a very young adult, 18, 20, 25, getting started in life, they don't have much in the way of assets, and the likelihood of them doing any kind of plan at all is slim to none, unless they might join like a group program. Our firm happens to have created one, or getting started in some other way. They need incapacity planning documents in case they fall ill, get into an accident, God forbid, something like that. Young families who are starting out in the financial world, right? Just starting to build their savings and things of that sort, may not be financially appropriate for them to incur the cost of a trust yet until a later stage. And so again, to encourage young families to have their incapacity planning and perhaps a will as their first estate planning tool, for certain to designate the guardians of their minor children should something happen to the parents. Now, if the outcome is going to be pretty much the same and there's a high unlikelihood, right? It's highly unlikely that there's going to be other complexities. Of course, there's no guarantees in that, but if it's highly unlikely, the lower cost to prepare a will plan is beneficial in those scenarios. And because the two downsides really of a trust plan, and I say this to everyone, is it is a little bit more expensive to create. That is because trusts are quite more robust in the plan itself, covers more, and they require a little extra homework or legwork for the person creating it in making sure everything gets funded to that trust. Now, a good attorney is going to help you kind of balance the value with the complexity and figure out what is the right fit for you. We, on occasion, not a ton, but when it's appropriate, we're offering both options with the pros and cons so that clients are fully aware and can make the right choice for themselves. There are times when, life is transitioning, like someone going through a divorce, selling businesses, shifting real estate, where like the complexity of creating a trust and putting assets under it may not be the right place for it, especially like a divorce matter, using that as an example, not knowing the outcome of the assets. You can't really just take them because they're involved in a marital, dispute, so to speak. And so, well, not so to speak, that's what it is, a marital, separation of assets. And so you can't just take them and throw them in your trust. You have to wait until that, divorce determines who the owners will be. And so you might want to wait just a short while to introduce and implement a trust into your plan. A trust, of course, is not a cure-all for everything. Just like a will plan, there are still issues relative to taxes and lawsuits and maybe family conflicts. It can be somewhat protective, but it's not it's not 100% foolproof. Nothing is. And a trust too, if it's not funded completely or properly, it also doesn't have as much efficacy as you would want from it. So there are things that need to be accomplished. And if life circumstances don't allow you to do those things, it might not be the right fit for right then. Of course, the attorney and the law firm should support you in those things that you need assistance with to get it done the right way, if that does happen to be the right plan for you. Now, again, sometimes there's no need for a trust. I know, it's crazy. Estate planning attorney saying that. But the focus should always be the goals of the client in their current situation to address their needs, address their goals, making sure they're covered from head to toe. And then as life evolves, like that young family, right? And they're building their savings and their retirement and their equity in their house, acquire a life insurance policy, all the things, right? As life evolves, so should your plan. So if you're in the time of your life where a will is a appropriate plan for you, I'm hoping you're speaking to a professional who will give you that as an option, knowing too that that may not be the right plan down the line, and you should also consider what in life changes that may impact the plan that you have or that you would want to make sure you're still protecting yourselves and your family to the fullest extent. Hope you've learned something new here today. I'm Valerie 𝗲𝗵𝗶 Law. We're an estate planning practice in New York and New Jersey. If you need some assistance in either of these areas, you can reach out to us at yourplanningattorney.com for a free consultation. Whew, that was a mouthful. Please don't forget to share and take care.